Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Yeah, you do a podcast like every fucking day, man?
Pretty much. This week, every day.
Fuck that.
But I was just on vacation.
How was vacation?
It was nice. Vacations are hard, because like, even though I enjoy rest, I always feel like I shouldn't be. Always.
I get it.
You go on vacations?
No.
Never?
No. Nope.
For me, creatively, it's good. It's good to get a reset because I come back in guns blazing like I don't risk any mental burnout.
Well, I have resets, but my resets are like, I call them aid stations. Mental aid stations. So when you're going fucking hard and you grind all the fucking time, like everybody knows there's 24 hours in a day, but when I'm in the shower, it's a mental aid station. I don't think about shit. I don't fucking think about people. I don't think about work. I don't think about running. I don't think about working out. When I'm in the car, another fucking mental aid station. When I'm fucking eating, mental aid station. So people eat and they work and all this other shit, man. So I can grind hard because a lot of times, man, I'm in mental fucking aid stations. Chilling.
So you have little mini vacations.
Mini vacations, man, all day long. All day long.
Do you feel now almost a responsibility to like stay at it all the time because so many people are watching and paying attention and drawing inspiration from you?
100%. I mean, like, I probably would have retired a long time ago, but I get these emails from people, and it's like they're living through me. Like, their strength comes through what they know I'm doing. So there's so many times I want to get up and say, oh, man, fuck it, man, I got mine, I'm good. And I'm like, fucking Tommy out there, motherfucker. Fucking Tommy talking about.
Tommy in his email.
Tommy talking about fucking.
He saved his life.
Man, I ran 10 miles last night because of you, man. I'm like, a lot of people can live off of that and they can fucking be good with that. And, a lot of motivational people come out here, man, and run their motherfucking mouths about shit. And I know they are not doing shit. They sit back and they're fucking like, they have their little brainstorming sessions about, oh, what should we say? What's gonna connect with people while they're sitting on their fucking ass? My brainstorming sessions is fucking out there in the fucking grip of life, fucking grinding. And that's where I think all my material comes from the suck. Every bit of it comes from the suck.
And that's the difference between there's like a whole industry now that's dedicated to trying to help people get motivated. And a lot of the people that are involved in that are very unqualified.
100%.
Because they're not really doing anything.
No.
There's so many people that haven't actually done anything, but they'll try to teach you how to get your life in order and how to get your mind right and develop that warrior mentality. I'm like, bitch, you don't have that.
Well, they're utilizing the weakness of the world right now.
Yeah.
The world's in a very bad place. So these people who are like con artists, they sit back and say, oh, I can come up with this. I can come up with this, and this right here can probably make me some money.
Yeah.
So they're in it for fucked up reasons.
There's just not a whole lot of people like you. I love that phrase, uncommon amongst uncommon men, because it's such a good phrase because it just shows you've been on this path for so long and you're grinding for so long, but you're also honest about there's moments where you don't want to fucking do this.
Oh.
Which is why it's so interesting because you do it.
Right.
You do it without any reservation. You just go through it.
Right.
But you always talk about, I don't want to fucking do this shit, but you always do it.
That's it.
But that's what people need to hear because they feel like that somewhere out there's some superhuman person who never feels despair and doesn't have any, there's no hesitation. So they feel like there's this person that's so different than them and so much stronger than them and doesn't ever have any procrastination. And you're like, that's not me.
No.
I love that phrase you told me once. He goes, sometimes I look at my fucking shoes for half an hour before I put those bitches on.
It's a true statement. But what I do, though, man, is I came up with this thing called perform without purpose. And so many people, they need to have a 5K, a 10K. I need to have a course in front of me. I need to have something in front of me for me to get my fucking ass up and do some shit. And that used to be me. And nowadays, for past 20-some years, I don't need fucking purpose. And people miss out on this, man. The purpose, we're all looking for this golden purpose. Is it this? Is it that? Is it making money? Is it my family? Motherfucker, the purpose is you. We forget that. Every fucking day I wake up and I don't want to do some fucking shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? So it's perform without purpose. You have to learn how to get up and do shit when you ain't got no fucking 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists. Your life fucking sucks. You're in the fucking dungeon. But guess what, motherfucker? I'm still going to get it. Because when that time comes, because the time is going to come, when that purpose is there, you'll be ready. But most of us fucking aren't ready because we don't know how to do without having the golden carrot in front of us.
Yeah.
And so you're all fucked.
There's also this thing where if you do it, once it's over, you get a break.
Oh.
Like that's what a 10K is. That's what a marathon is. I'm going to train for this marathon. And you're training, and you're training for that big day, but you're also recognizing when that marathon's over,
That's right. That's right. And as you get better at that moment, the moment becomes less and less. So my moments now are like, oh, I ran today. I went to the gym today. I did this and this today. I studied today. I have about 8 hours off. And those 8 hours are glorious to me. And every day you go back out and you start earning that. And every day you wake up, it sucks. And when it's over, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. And as you get going, every step you take in that journey, as you're like, for me, I run every day. Fucking hate it. But every step I take, I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you're beating the demon again.
You run every day, but I don't think people understand how fucked up your knees are.
No,
Like
they don't get it.
you run when you sent me that X-ray after your surgery, and I looked at what they did to your knee, and I looked at what it looks like,
Right.
what the actual bone on bone looks like, and
Right.
how it had distorted because there's no cushioning at all.
No.
And the doctor said to you, I can't even believe you could fucking walk on these knees.
Yeah.
Forget about run thousands of miles. So you're doing this every day in constant pain.
Right. Right.
What is it like?
Well, I don't suggest...
Explain your knees, first of all.
So, okay. So people think that my knees are bad from a lot of running, and they're wrong. I wasn't born healthy. I wasn't born with some great body alignment, some great, I have sickle cell. I have all kind of shit. I have all kind of health issues, all kind of, I'm fucked up. So I had a choice to make. And the choice was, growing up, okay, this hurts, that hurts. We can just sit down and do nothing. Or we can see how far we can push the human body. So on that journey, as I started getting more and more into my mind and start realizing that what I'm capable of doing, my mind got stronger. So the pain in my knees, while it sucked, I've been doing it for so long. It was like it became my new norm. Like, okay, my knees hurt, fuck it. Stop, and I call it like stop feeling sorry for yourself, but you sometimes have to ignore your feelings.
I'm going to send Jamie a picture of your knee.
Oh, no, dude, I think Jamie has some...
Do you have a picture of his knee, Jamie? Did I ever send it to you, Jamie? I have it here. Hold on. Let me just... But keep going.
No, so it's like, for me, I made a decision. And my decision was to be the best person I could. And I basically, a lot of mornings I wake up and say, fuck your feelings. And that doesn't mean like, don't take it literally, fuck your feelings. But sometimes you have to go beyond what you're feeling. And my knees were fucked, but guess what? I wanted to run. And I knew that, okay, you can get knee replacements, this and that. Like I said, it wasn't because I ran too much. People always want to say, oh, man, you ran so much so you fucked up your body. You don't want to be like David Goggins. I hear it all the time. You don't want to be like David Goggins. But
so there's your knee.
Yeah, there it is.
First
that's
of all,
the plate.
look at the fact that there's zero space between those bones.
Yes, sir.
From the top, from your tibia to your femur, there's zero space. It's just kneecap covering two bones that are rubbing against each other. And so this was after surgery where they had to cut your knee, slice your shin like in half, and then take a chunk out of it because it had deformed so much from you running with bone on bone that it was starting to like swell out in one direction,
Right.
and it was changing the alignment of your leg.
Right. And this happened back in 2000, 2001. I was going through buds. So this happened for a long. This right here has been going on for a long time. So, and it got to a point where it's like, okay, I'm done, and that's the plate that's in there right now. So as you see the wedge, that part right there in the bone that's opened up.
Yeah.
So they had to cut it, realign it, and then now the alignment's better. But this is now about 17, 18 months ago when this happened. So
Couldn't
yeah.
they get some screws that fit? Go back to that real quick.
With those real
The one sticks right out of the fucking bone. Hey, cut that shit off.
yeah,
Why is
file that
thing-
shit down.
Is that thing sticking into your leg?
No, I don't. Well, I feel the plate every single time I move.
Yeah.
So every time, because it's like connected to the hamstring. So whenever I move, that plate is very irritating. So every step, even like when I walk, when I run, it's this very irritating thing. And then you gotta wait for so long for that leg to start getting back into place. And if you see that other picture I sent of the foam, my foam leg that I put my hand in, I think Jennifer sent it to you, Jamie, with the foam leg. You'll see this in a second. This is fucked up. So like the swelling in that leg was fucking nuts.
Oh, when you had edema?
Yeah.
You showed it to me in Vegas.
Yeah.
You were sticking your thumb into your
I
shin.
grabbed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty nuts. But once again, it's just things things I was willing to endure to get. Yeah,
There
that's
it
it
is.
right there.
So that's just all post-surgery swelling.
Yeah.
So when the doctor said this to you and he said, look, this is how fucked up your knee is, did he say you need a replacement? What was he saying?
Basically, I had two options. So I went to the first guy, had the surgery done. That's in the book. I talked about that. But then the second guy, so after the first surgery, I was done.
So this is the first surgery after Buds?
No, so this is like back in, looking at 2000. So me and Cameron, this is recently. So I didn't have any surgery going through buds.
Really?
I didn't have any surgery at all. So I went through, in 2001, I fucked up, 2001, whatever it was, I messed up my leg real bad in Hell Week, kept on going on it. Just kept on going,
What did you do to it in Hell Week?
It was like I fucked it up somehow, like running or whatever. I have it in Can't Hurt Me. But it was, I think the boat, I fell, it twisted, but over a period of time, it got worse and worse and worse. So I was getting like Toradol shots every day. And then it just got worse. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm good. So I kept going on it. So it kind of healed all fucked up. So it just kept going. Years later, it kept going on it. So I stopped squatting. So it became like, okay, my knee's fucked up, my alignment's messed up, my hips are messed up, I can't squat. So, but I can still run. So, okay, I started running. Because running doesn't require you to bend down and shit. So I'm running a lot. And it got to 20 years later, pretty much. And it was 2020, or if I want to get this right, Cameron Haynes came down. We went for a 20-mile run. My knees were fucked up for like 10 years. Long story short, it was like, okay, man, I got to get this thing looked at. So I went and got looked at. The doc was like, oh, we can go in there and just do a quick little fucking, cleanup job. And the cleanup job wasn't so quick. Guy was breaking tools and shit, fucking up, like literally broke tools. And I have it in there. He was breaking tools.
I talked to him.
I know.
He told me your meniscus was the hardest meniscus he's ever experienced in his life. He's like, dude, he goes, I didn't know that meniscus could get that way. He goes, like, he's not human. He goes, when I was cutting into meniscus, it broke the scalpel.
Yep, Wolf's Law syndrome, he said. Wolf's Law something.
Yeah, he said normally when you cut into meniscus, it just slices right through like butter. He's like, I couldn't cut it.
Yeah, mine went butter. So all those motherfuckers who think I'm putting them 100-mile weeks, go fuck yourself, bitch. You don't get no shit like that, baby, by sitting on the fucking couch.
No, I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, you've hardened your meniscus just through constant pressure and pounding.
Yeah.
So he went in there to clean it up, and then what happened?
So basically, that little meniscus, that whatever the fuck was in there, so my alignment was so bad, the only thing that was keeping me able to do anything was that little fucked up, messed up meniscus. It was all jarred up and jacked up, but the second that thing got out, dude, it was like have you seen Star Wars, those storm things, those big fucking things that, what are they called? They have wobbly legs when they hit like logs.
The robot things?
Yeah, the robot
Yeah.
things. That's how my leg was. it had nothing. It was just like a little dangling fucking like, so from my knee down, the shin, the tib, fib, it just dangled. Like there was nothing. And I was like, okay, man, this
So it was
is
worse after the cleanup.
much worse. Like I was done. I went from running 200 miles to, I did 240-mile race in 2020, October 2020. It was Moab. Went out there, got second place, 62 hours. Knee was fucked up, getting it drained before the fucking race, but I still ran 240 miles. Literally, 5 or 6 days before the race, I'm getting it drained. And it was a baseball size fucking, it's called a baker's assist. So they drained it, and I went in there and did the race. Finished it, and I was like, okay, here we go. Went on to do some more races. I did like another 200-miler, did a couple more races, and then, like I said, Cam came down. Right after that, I went and got this surgery done. And I went from running every day to now I have some fucking legs that just dangles. And after that surgery, it just fucking dangled. And I was like, okay, man, I'm fucked.
And it's just from that little piece of meniscus.
Just that little piece of meniscus. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, man, this doesn't make any sense to me. There's something fucked. I don't understand why I can't put any pressure on my leg. The amount of blood they were taking out was unbelievable. So there's the blood right there.
Jesus Christ.
That's the blood, dude.
Oh my God, there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
And
5,
you see the black
6.
blood?
Yeah.
That is deoxygenated blood. So whatever was going on, whatever the fuck was going on.
That's why it looks different colors. So the
Yeah.
red blood is the blood that has oxygen.
That's right.
And that was just like coagulated, just
Yes.
fucked up blood.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah. So after surgery, I'm like seven days out or whatever the fuck it was. And once again, I don't know the exact times, but I have them in the book. I have everything fucking dialed in. I went back, man. I was like, man, I'm fucked up. I mean, it's a simple meniscus surgery, man. Like people go
Yeah.
back a week later. They're playing 2 weeks, 3
Yeah.
weeks tops. I'm like, man, I'm never gonna fucking run again. I'm gonna walk with a fucking limp. So I'm going back. I'm getting fucking like literally getting my knee drained every week, getting PRP. I'm like, man, but in the back of my mind, I know how far I can push myself. I know my body so fucking well, so well. And I'm like, this is wrong. I go, I'm never gonna run again. I'm never gonna run again. And I walk with a limp. So this went on for about six months. So I had the surgery done in February. It was February, March, April, May, June. About 4 months after the surgery, 4 or 5 months. I'm like, hey Jennifer, I gotta find another, somebody else to look at my fucking knee. So I try to keep my shit together. But imagine when you go from every day of your fucking life grinding, and you go to nothing. Like literally, like 90-minute surgery, done.
That's crazy that it was just a little meniscus scope.
90-minute surgery, done. And I was like, okay, man, anyway. So I found this guy named Dr. Gamal out of New York. And we fly there, but I'm like, he can't fix this, man. Because I knew it was a lot more than knees. It was all kind of this fucked up body shit. And I walk in the office, and he decides to see me, and me and Jennifer in there. Jennifer's happy. She's happy as shit. It's like, oh my God, man, this guy's gonna be able to get you a fucking meniscus replacement. He was all kind of guru'd out. But I'm a realist, bro. I will push myself and I will go as far as I can. But I also am a realist. I also knew in the back of my mind, I'm not gonna try to ruin your fucking party, Jennifer. This is what I'm saying to myself. But this shit's done. It's over. So, but I went just to pretty much appease her and just see, if there's anything left. So I walk in the office and the doc's like, yeah, I'm looking at your x-rays. And that's the doctor who's like, I don't know how. This is one of the, Dr. Gamal, look him up, world-renowned motherfucker, dude. And when this guy looked at me, straight-faced, he said, man, I don't know how you did anything with those knees. Anything, let alone run 200 miles back-to-back, 240 miles, where the fuck you did. I don't know how you did it. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. Can we get it fixed? And he didn't want to get there because he knew I was fucked. He's like, no, we can maybe, try an unloader brace. Maybe an unloader brace will help you out. And I was
What's
like,
an unloader brace?
so basically, my knee went in on the meniscus side, on the inside. So it was like jamming on the inside. So this brace kind of helps realign the knee a little bit. So then you cannot have so much pressure on the inside of your leg. So that's it right
so
there.
on one side.
Yeah, so basically, I'm like, okay, so this is all you have for me? I'm like, you can't do shit for me? And he was like, no. And he was walking out of the office, and he could tell. I was like, I wasn't too fucked up, but I was like, because I kind of was preparing myself for the next part of my journey. I don't like to lay in my shit too long. You know, I give myself a couple of minutes to say, okay, motherfucker, we got man to fuck up. We got to get back in this fucking, like, what's next? You know, let's go see, you know, let's go back to college. Let's do something, because you're running and your athletic career's done. So he got to the door, he opened it, and as he was shouldered out the motherfucking door. And I'm looking at Jennifer, I'm like, well, you know, we'll go back to fucking, you know, go back to Nevada and fucking start again. And he was like, try the unloader brace out, and there's one more thing we could possibly do for you. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, get your little monkey fucking ass back in here, bro. Like, what is it? Like, what the fuck's going on? So he was like, yeah, there's this surgery called HTO. And he was like, you can go in, we can fucking, you know, pretty much break your tibia. It's called high tibia osteotomy. They go in and they break your tibia. They like slice into it, and they wedge it to the point where they realign your leg back up. It's a very painful surgery. It's very painful afterwards. Painful as fuck afterwards. And they put that plate, the plate you saw, back on, and then your leg is, so your knee is still where it was, because this doesn't get fixed. So it takes several months for that knee to start working its way back into where that alignment is. So now my leg is just now, so here it is.
See it on the image.
Yeah.
So they take a slice out of it because it's deformed.
Yep.
And that slice lowers the part that's deformed and tries to make it a more natural shape. But you're still dealing with bone on bone. So you're still dealing with the pain of arthritis, essentially. Because do you have any cartilage in your knees?
Not much. Not much at all, if any. So the thing about it, it takes that pressure off of that. So it was complete bone on bone.
Right.
What that surgery does is it takes it over to the lateral side. So on the outside. So I have a nice meniscus over there. That thing wasn't touched for years, because how I was born, all the pressure was on the my medial meniscus.
So your knee had been misaligned your whole life?
The whole life. That's what. Yeah, that's my whole life has been fucked up. So my meniscus on my lateral side is pristine. So now the way he did it is that all of my pressure is going on to that pristine meniscus.
Okay.
So now it's all about getting that leg back aligned, which is taking forever.
And it's still not aligned?
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there. Because mine was so fucked up.
Can they do a meniscus replacement on you?
No. So that's what I wanted to get done. But if your knee is so far gone, like mine was, there was no option for that.
Why is that?
Because my knee was so far gone. So it was like, when you put that meniscus in there, however it works, he said, it wouldn't have taken it. Like, basically, yeah, we would have taken it, but it would have fucking destroyed it, because your knee is so fucked up. So this was the only option for me.
Don't they make like an artificial meniscus now as well?
Yep. And this is what this guy really specializes in. So he's like the guy to go to for that stuff.
What does an artificial meniscus consist of?
I guess it's just, I have no idea. I'm not even going to get into that shit.
See if we can find out what that is, because I got some fucked up knees too. Not like yours, though. If I ever think about complaining, I'll look at yours.
Yes, sir.
It's here, world's first artificial meniscus available in Israel.
And there you go, Andreas Gamal.
Yeah, there he is. And so it looks like some sort of a clear gel-looking stuff, and which is, you know, the meniscus is just a cushioning in between the two bones and the cartilage. And this is, oh, look at that.
Yep.
But they can't do that to you?
No, you have to be a good candidate for that. So your knee has to be in a certain condition, and mine was not in that condition. It was.
If you were a candidate for that, would they be able to do it and you'd be able to run, or is that just like to move around and walk?
From what I read about, you can run, you can do everything you want to do, but sometimes if you do a lot, it wears it out. So
you could get a new one.
Get a new one. Yeah.
That's not that bad.
It's not that bad, man.
For you, it doesn't work.
No, because basically it wouldn't even work for me because my knee was gone.
But the way he reshaped it, wouldn't that correct? I mean, he kind of like changed your alignment of your knee and made it more normal, right?
I think he made it more normal, but from what I understand, if you put that in there, structurally, like structure wise, what makes it more normal is the surgery he did. So right now, there's no bone on bone for me. So there's no need for that meniscus at all. So a lot of people get their meniscus taken out if you have the right alignment and your body can do what it's supposed to do.
Really?
Yeah.
But if you get your meniscus taken out, you're just cartilage on cartilage?
If you know Dwayne Wade, Dwayne basketball player,
Yeah.
I believe Dwayne Wade played years, if I'm correct, with no meniscus. Yeah. I think in both his knees.
Jesus.
Yeah. Years. He ended up having like really bad knee problems, but his meniscus was messed up. Back in the day, they used to take it out. So if you look here.
Here it is.
I when I was in college.
Wow. Surgery to remove the meniscus in his left knee 11 years ago while he was at Marquette led to ongoing knee problems he's had with Miami Heat.
I'm so glad that you have this fucking thing to pull up, Jamie, because I would be talking out my ass half the damn time.
That's what I do.
Man, you fucking square me away, brother.
Knees are a problem, man.
Yeah.
And the fact that you require your knees to do what you do, like your whole thing is endurance athlete.
Right.
And to be an endurance athlete, you got to be able to move your legs.
You gotta be able to move them. But what I like about, and this was like literally a trained skill for me, was I'm always preparing for like not being a bitch. Like a lot of people get to a point, like for instance, like if Jennifer can't do something, like if she can't go for a run or whatever, just like because something's wrong, like some simple shit, it's gonna bother her. I got to a point in my life where I realized this is life. And so I move on past things real quick. So people are like, oh my God, what are you going to do, David, if you can't run? Motherfucker, I'll swim. Or I'll go to college or I'll do something else. This this isn't my life. So I'm very aware how quick life can take shit from you. And I've always prepared my mind for the next chapter. And what happened with me was I started this thing called front loading. So when I was young, I used to be a little piece of shit. You know, like fucking, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I can't do that. But the second I got my head out of my ass and I realized, man, you can achieve a lot of shit if you get off your ass and you start moving and you start motivating yourself. You start becoming a self-motivator. So I started front loading. And front loading is people, man, you've done so much by 47 because I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring me. So my military resume is fat. You know, I fucking did a lot in the military. I did a lot outside the military. I've made money. I've done almost every race out there, hard race in the world. I've broken pull-up records. I've done a lot of shit. So when these bad times come, and also not like only that, like work your ass off so you can enjoy. Yeah, you're taking a shot. You know, you may not live to be old, but what if you do? And you worked your ass off when you were able, and you were able to fucking get up early, able to grind. If you front load it properly, the back half of your fucking life is money. And that's what I did. The second I realized that, man, you are a piece of shit, we got to get going. Because at 47, man, you're not going to be able to do any of this shit. 50, whatever you are. So I front loaded. So all these bad things have happened to me. I sit back and go, man, how are you handling this so well? Motherfucker, I've done it. I front loaded. I have the money I need. I have the success I need. I have the fucking, the determination, the willpower, and also the pride in myself. So when I wake up every morning, I know who the fuck I am. I front loaded perfectly. So I don't care what's taken from me.
But it's got to be a strange position to be in where your body is your medium. The body is the vehicle for you to express yourself.
Right.
And your body's breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they consider doing knee replacements on you too.
Yep.
And what was that conversation like?
It was very basic, man. It's like, hey, you know, you're not gonna be able to do some of the shit that you've done, even though obviously people are. But that was the conversation, and I know it sounds weird. It was totally fine with me. It was fine because dude. People don't understand. This wasn't like a part-time job, man. When you've done without, like Kobe Bryant, when Kobe fucking retired that last game, he like 60 points or some shit. He walked off the court. He didn't fucking cry. He said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna miss the sport. What the fuck?" He walked off. He gave everything he could. Man, when you fucking give what I've given, and motherfuckers like to say, "Oh, fuck you. You don't fucking know shit," which makes me who I am. I've given everything. People make, oh, you ran on fucked up knees. You taped your feet up. You did blah, blah. You had 2 heart surgeries. You kept on going. Yep. Sure did. I had somewhere to fucking go. And I got there. And buddy, when motherfuckers tell you you can take a break now, hey, you're fucked up. As long as my knees are halfway worked, I got to run. You telling me, man, maybe a chance I can't run no more? Give me an excuse to fucking not do shit. But as long as I have no excuse, I gotta do it. But I was happy where I was. I gave everything. I gave everything to who I am. And that's why people, oh, I don't believe that. Don't believe it. I gave everything. And when you give everything, man, you have no regret. People didn't understand me. People don't understand me now. I don't give a fuck. I know exactly what I was doing. I'm not a masochist. I'm not crazy. I'm not this and that. People try to title me and label me. No, I had something to fucking do.
Well, the way I describe it to people when people ask me, like, why does he do all these things? Like, what is the motivation here? I go, he's on a mental journey that very few people have ever been on. Because what people don't understand you, they misunderstand you, or they purposely misinterpret the way you're living your life. You're trying to understand your mind in a way that very few human beings ever get to understand their mind. Because you're taking your mind into these terrible, dark places all the time, and you're trying to pull things out of that. You're trying to learn things about yourself and about your potential from that.
That's exactly it.
And that's what people don't understand.
I studied the darkness. You find no fucking answers in the light. None. It's too happy. It's too nice. And we don't need to be taught how to live in happiness. That just comes naturally to us. Happy moments, but the dark times, man, you can't get there unless you put yourself there. Life will take you there. But when you get into those dark moments, that's why people, how are you able, man, I couldn't fucking read and write till I was a junior in high school. How are you able to write like this, man? Motherfucker, I go to such places in my mind and I study the darkness. Like, it's not just physical. When I was growing up and I saw my mom getting beat and I got beat and I was some stuttering little black kid in an all-white school and I'm on stage and I got to say one fucking line in front of fucking 15 people and I walk off stage kind of fucking stutter. All those insecurities and all those fucking things, man, I used to go home and fucking cry. I'm like, my God, man, I'm fucked up. I'm so fucked up. Hang on, man. As I got older, we got to study this shit, man. The only way we're going to fucking get through this is if we study it. So every time I'm in a dark moment and life's fucked up around me, whether it be physical or just life, I get in it, man, with a fucking pen and paper. I'm like, okay, this fucking sucks. I can feel like I'm fucking losing my shit, but let's fucking study this. Let's come out of this motherfucker a genius. You know, I studied the black matter of the mind. The dark matter, you know, like fucking Stephen Hawking. If that's fucking his name, I said it right. That motherfucker studied the space and shit.
Yeah.
That's where I consider myself, man. You know, I was on a journey, just like you said. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. And so many people get it wrong, and I don't give a fuck, man. You can't, for me, I cannot help people. There's a lot of cookie cutter shit out here in this world. Oh, discipline, wake up early, take a cold shower, fuck this, fuck that, whatever. It's all fucking bullshit. It's not. But what they don't teach you within the cookie cutter is like our minds are like a fucking garage. And the garage, if you open a garage and it's all cluttered up, it's all fucked up, you can't put your car in there. You got fucking boats and you got fucking kids' toys and shit everywhere. But if you organize that fucking garage and you put everything in its rightful spot, you can pull that car in there. You can put 2 cars in there. You can put bikes in there. And that's like with the mind. People talk about discipline and fucking determination and fucking, you know, repetitions and all this shit. Consistency. Why people fall off the wagon so often is because their mind is full of shit. There's no room in that mind for discipline. There's no room for consistency. They may do it once or twice, but then the mind takes over and that cluttered fucking garage comes in, and then it's like a circuit breaker, man. A circuit breaker just overloads and it fucking sparks. And our minds, that's our mind, man. It's like a fucking circuit breaker that has so much shit in it, you keep on loading it, you can't put any more into it. So I talk about it in there, man, so much about clearing space in your fucking mind so then you have room for all those discipline, waking up early, taking those, because they do mean something. But we don't get to that fucking dark matter that is keeping you from clearing out that mental garage.
That's a good way to put it. Because that is the mind of most people is filled with stuff that they have to move around to get to what they want. And it's constantly piling up and there's shit unorganized and...
Organized mind, man. You're looking at fucking, I got to take care of the kids' schedule's all fucked up. My husband, my wife, you know, I'm going by McDonald's to get this and I'm rushing my schedule. Everything's just fucked.
I wish I was doing this, but I'm doing that.
That's it.
And that and this. And I want a raise, but I can't get one.
That's it.
My boss is an asshole.
Where's greatness in that, man?
Yeah.
You can't fit discipline into that. You can't fit structure. You can't fit consistency. You can't fit the grind. And then when you try, it just gets fucking overrun by the fucking clutter in your fucked up mental garage.
When you are in these dark places and you're gathering up these lessons, how difficult is it to try to bring that back and convey it to people when you're not in that space? Like when you're in that space, when you're in the Moab 240 and you're going uphill and you're in the middle of it's just deep suck.
Right.
How do you convey where that mental fortitude comes from? How do you bring that back? It's almost like you've got something you can't even hold in your hand,
right,
and you want to show it to people.
I take snapshots. So every time I'm in a bad situation, like, you know, I study it. And that's the only reason I do half the shit I do, is I'm studying this shit. Because I know that I never thought I was going to be writing books and trying to help people get better. But I was always trying to do it because I knew I sucked. And so when you know you're trying to get somewhere, you know you suck, you know that you believe that you're a born loser, you are taking snapshots, man. Like, you know, you see something on your phone, like, oh man, I'm going to take a fucking snapshot of that, or how you do the little picture shit so you can save it on your phone. I do that in my mind. So when I get in these moments where I'm like, fucking, okay, wow, that's some fucking good knowledge right there, man. I snapshot it because I know that I can use that later. I can use this because I'm not out there most people, they go out and they run and they go out and they do, and they're like, oh, this is beautiful. Look at the fucking mountains and the shit and all this bullshit. No, I don't like it. My body hurts. I'm hurting. How do we get through this? And it's a lab. It's my mental lab. And so when I come home, I'm not forgetting it. And the second, like every day I get done running, or every day I get through working, or every day I get through studying, whatever it is that brings me to that place of knowledge, I come home and that book was mostly written on a scratch piece of paper in hand. So I come home from running and I write everything out. I write everything out, all those things. And as I'm running, I'm talking about it. So all these things that pop in my head as I continue to run, I'm going through it. I'm starting to layer it down. I'm starting to break it down into, okay, that happened. Okay, now let's layer this. Because that's just not how it happened. It just didn't happen that way. What led up to this? And so it becomes me by myself in school. I'm literally going to school right now and I'm learning. So when I come home, I write it out. And then I'm able to write out and I'm able to think about it and say, okay, oh, this is good shit. This will help me later on. And then it becomes what it is now.
And when you try to convey it to people, what do you when you're writing it out and when you're talking about it, what are you thinking? Are you thinking that this is going to get into someone's mind and this is going to help them motivate themselves? Or are you just trying to express yourself and let them do with it what they can?
I'm them.
You're them.
I'm them. And the fucked up thing about me, why I'm able to do it the way I'm able to do it, I'm not above them. I was never above them. A lot of people write where they are. They write where they are. Oh, yeah, like fucking you right now writing. You have a good life, man. You have a fucking good life. I don't write from that place. I write from the place that I am, the place that created who I am. I go back to that place. I call it going back to scratch. I can't write about David Goggins. Now, David Goggins now is a success. People want to get to feel whatever success is for them. They want to feel that. So I can't write it here at David Goggins successful. I must write at David Goggins fucking, man, I don't feel good about myself. And every day I go through that journey. So that's where it comes from. It comes from scratch. All that shit, all my knowledge comes from going back to where the real growth Growth doesn't happen. When you make it so far in life, you make it so high up, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to be, there's no more growth. There's small growth. But you remember back when you fucking tried to become Joe Rogan you are now, how much growth was in that? Tons of growth. Learning, lessons learned. So I always revisit. That's why I'm a fucking wildland firefighter now. Why I'm a fucking smoke jumper. I don't need to do that shit at all. But I don't learn anything from where I'm at now. There's no knowledge up here. The knowledge is down there in the fucking muck. So that's where I write. That's where I go back. That's where I learn. I always go back to school. I always go back to the basics. I always go back to first grade.
And how much of that is tied to doing things physically, though? There's a certain kind of physical struggle that you go through, particularly with what you excel at, which is endurance athlete work. When there's a mental and physical thing that happens when the two of them are together, that doesn't happen in anything else. Like, you can do hard work, hard mental work, and it's very difficult, and I'm sure you can learn a lot from that.
Right.
But it doesn't have the physical pain that comes with the suck of endurance work.
Yes. There's nothing in the world that I'm able to get. Let's say that Moab 240 I was in, 62 hours. Fucking sucked. It's just
With blown out knees.
Literally, like a few days before the race, I'm getting them drained. Before the race. So that's in your fucking mind, man. Like, it ain't like, oh, I show up to start line, oh, this is fucking great. I'm going to fucking have a good time out here. No, I'm thinking, all right, I just have my fucking knees drained. Like, I'm in pain at mile 0. And that's in your brain. I have 240 miles of fucking ahead of me. And there's nothing in life. This is why I love endurance sports so much. I love it and I hate it. It's a love-hate relationship. 62 hours, I equate that to fucking 7 years of life. You can't get that, man. So what I know that Ultra does for me is it packs in. I can't live several lifetimes. I can't. Because the knowledge I need to gain for this life I live in today, I need 2 or 3 or 4 lifetimes to be where I want to go. Ultra gives it to me in fucking high definition real fast. 62 hours, you go out there fucking suffer, you come back, oh, that was 62 hours, I gained 7 fucking years of knowledge. The ups and downs, the pain, the suffering, you learn how to chunk this shit down. Like, oh my God, man, I'm at mile 100. How the fuck am I gonna get to mile 118? Everything becomes, you start to learn life out there. And you learn so much in such a condensed period of time, and nothing in the world can do it like pushing yourself to the absolute limit. I call it like, so people have talent. People have a lot of talent. And this is going beyond your talent. So when there's no more talent, what happens to you? Most people quit. People only go to their talent level. And once their talent level is gone, it becomes a mental game. The whole mental game sets in then. And most people can only perform to their talent. And they realize, man, why am I always messing up right here? Why is this like my big hurdle? It's because you're performing to your talent. And then after that, your mind has nothing for you. Nothing for you. I see fighters, I see runners, I see people who they're great, but they get to the edge of their talent. It's like, fuck, man, what's up? Because you're now at the point now where your talent ain't gonna do shit for you, my friend. Now it's the mental game. And that's where people get lost in life, get lost in that next level. And that next level is found for me in the things that I do. I'm just misunderstood.
That's a giant problem with fighters.
Yep.
There's many fighters that
It's
are
a talent
at
problem.
elite level in the gym. But when they get tired,
Yep.
and when they get pushed, and when they get into that, when the world starts narrowing and the walls start closing in and they can't see peripherally anymore,
Yep.
and they're exhausted and they start making mistakes, So all of their understanding of what to do next gets clouded because they're thinking about quitting. They're thinking about being exhausted. When am I going to get a break?
Yep.
How much do I have left in the tank? Can I even push forward here? Or will I gas out and risk getting stopped?
And that is exactly what you said goes on into the human mind
Yeah.
when you have a talent problem.
Yeah.
It's exactly what goes on in your mind. So how are you going to fucking defeat that, bro? You're sitting there getting beat the fuck down by a motherfucker just on you. Fucking just throwing you down, take down, hitting the face. And all that's going through your mind is what you just fucking said. There's no positivity in that. But when you train the mind the way I train mine, fucking ready, man. Fucking ready, because first of all, I didn't have much talent. So I had to train one fucking thing. You better train your fucking mind, because my talent's gonna run out way early. When shit got hard for me back in the day, bro, I'm done. I'm out. See ya. Okay. I gotta invent a motherfucker that can. So I invented Goggins. I invented a motherfucker that realized we're not good enough. But Goggins realizes we're mentally strong as fuck. And we're gonna outstrength these motherfuckers in the mind.
There's a big there's an understanding in fighting that sometimes talent is a curse, because some people are very talented and they just don't work as hard. You know, Khabib Nurmagomedov talks about that,
Right.
And he's one of the greatest mixed martial arts fighters of all time.
For sure.
One of the rare guys to retire undefeated. But he's like, talented guys don't work hard enough.
No.
It's like talented guys, the problem with talented guys is they can get by early. They're like faster than people. Maybe
Yep.
they just have a better understanding or better coordination. Some people just, you know, we're not even. Like, people are not even in their abilities when it comes to sports. Some people are just very gifted.
Yes.
But gifted fighters in particular, there's something about it where a lot of them never realize their full potential.
No.
Because they don't develop that mental game that you're talking about. They don't have to.
No.
Because they could piece people up on the outside. They win fights easy. They stop a bunch of people in the first round. They
Yep.
look like a hero. But then when someone comes along that can survive that first round and then start dragging them into hell,
That's right.
then
Oh,
you see.
and that's what you said. When you drag a motherfucker into hell who's a demon,
Yeah.
you're in for a long race. And they're hard. People with a talent problem who are so talented, they're hard to train. They're hard to push. If you're their coach and you're trying to get them to see that we got to get you past this talent problem, we got to get you to the point where you're into that mental zone. Okay, we got to get you way past your talent. And it's hard for coaches to take these fighters or whoever past their talent. And on the other side of that is where they gain true levels. The levels beyond talent, that's where it really is. Because if you're able to take a motherfucker down to the deep end, while motherfucker's just putting his toe in, feeling the water and shit, if a motherfucker's in the deep end, he's able to take you down there and he's mentally strong, it's over. It's over, man. Because they live in the deep end. They live in it, man. They thrive in it.
It's almost like you have to have the ability to go to the deep end no matter whether or not you'll ever go there.
Right. Yes.
And some people are like, well, I'm never going to go to the deep end. But you should be able to.
Yes. 100%. You have to be trained to do it. You have to be trained for it. For when that time comes, you're like, okay, I'm deep in qualified.
Yeah.
I am deep in fucking qualified. I got my fucking deep in certification.
But you know what's interesting about this book is you talk about how there was moments, even though you're clearly deep end qualified, clearly deep end certified.
Yes, sir.
You took some time and you hadn't been a deep end for a while and you're like, I'm kind of a part-time savage now.
That's right.
This is kind of bullshit. And you're recognizing it in yourself. Even though you know your ability, you know your history,
Yep.
you know what you've been capable of doing in the past, you're like, but I haven't been there.
Nope.
I haven't been there in a while. And you had to go back.
What's funny about that part-time savage thing in there, man, where I fucking totally dog myself because it's the truth. all this became nice. Waking up, motherfucker,
Success.
bacon and eggs, motherfucker, fuck protein shake, early morning shit. And I stopped having those hard conversations with myself. Boy, my whole life. That's why my friends hate my ass, boy. Because I'm hard on me. If I'm hard on me, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about what you think. I don't give a fuck what you think about me, nothing else. Hard on myself, bro. Every morning I woke up, all right, motherfucker. I call it my morning meeting. My morning meeting. We all have these fucking meetings all fucking day long. You know, we go to work. We're working for somebody else. They want a meeting because they want to be successful. So we all sit our ass down, try to make them better, try to make them more money, try to make them more powerful. We don't do that for ourselves. So every morning I wake up, I used to. I had to get back into it again because in that chapter, you see, I became a little bitch. That morning meeting, I wake up, okay, Goggins, what did you do fucked up yesterday? Where were you at? And I just go through and I analyze my life. And then I went through a period of time there, man, where I stopped having those conversations. You know how you, let's say you and your wife go out, and let's say, I don't know, I'm just making up a story here. You and your wife go out and you see your cousin, and your cousin's fat as fuck. I don't know if they are or not. Hopefully not. If they are, apologize. Maybe. So they go out and you see your cousin, she's fat as fuck, he's fat as fuck, whoever. And you guys get back in the car and you guys, man, you see motherfucking Mary Jo? How fat she was? That's what we do. We go back in the hard conversation that you should be having with Mary Jo. Hey, Mary Jo, you fucking gained some weight, huh, sister? Fucking kind of big. That's what I do to myself. A lot of people that we see all day long, we see them. We don't have that hard conversation with them. We walk around. I'd rather you fucking hate me and get better than like me and stay the same. And that's how I feel about David Goggins. Motherfucker, I'd rather me hate, oh, I hate you, David, man. I hate you, David. But I get better from it. I get better from it. And that's why when people see me and I know you, you're in my little foxhole. If you're in my foxhole and you become a piece of shit, hey, come here, brother. Let me talk to you real quick, brother. People don't like that shit, man. But I'm not going to allow you to go to a place that's going to be hard to get out of. It's going to be hard. If I allow you to gain 5 more pounds, or allow you to take 4 more days off of school, or allow you to keep on procrastinating in your fucking life, and I see it, and I tell Jennifer behind your back, I'm doing you no fucking justice. Right. Zero justice. So where this world is now, you can't say a motherfucking thing. I do. I still do, and I always will. Don't like me. Don't like me. I'm good with that.
That's exactly what's going on with, like, fat models.
That's it. I'm
People
proud.
are like, you're beautiful no matter what. But that's not true.
And the thing about it is, I have no problem if you want to be fat. I have no problem with anybody. If you want to be whatever the fuck you want to be. But make sure you fucking, if you're fat, motherfucker, go be fat. Go be real fucking fat.
But let's be real. Nobody wants to be fat.
Nobody does. That's why I said it, man. Nobody does.
It's not true. They will pretend. I'm fine with it. But if I could give you a button that you could push and boink,
be skinny.
all of a sudden you'd have this incredible body.
Yep.
Everybody would push that button.
But what happens is, man, we get in this world where it gets hard.
Yeah.
And so the harder it is, the more you start to push back. And the more you push back, and then it's not right for people to talk about. It's not right for, like, let's say you are fat. I was fat. That's why I talk about it. Go ahead and say something, motherfucker. I was fat too. And it was hard as fuck every fucking day to get up. I know what it feels like. When you roll your fat ass out of bed and all you want is some fucking damn cinnamon buns and shit and fucking chocolate milkshakes. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. But I can't want it more than you. And so many people just want it the easy way. I'm sorry, man. It's not. So what they start to do is they build this narrative of it's okay. When the narrative should be, you need to fucking work harder. You need to fucking discipline your mind better. We need to help people more than just saying it's okay. It's okay that you're not fucking willing to fucking help yourself out. That's not okay. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. Even though it's your life, if that's acceptable, that's unacceptable. And there's a lot of people in this world, me included, that if I accepted that, I wouldn't be anywhere. So yeah, a lot of people just fucking, they start creating a narrative about themselves that make it okay. The ultimate get out of jail free card. And now the world is set up to have so many get out of jail free cards. Everything is okay. and you can't say a motherfucking thing about it.
This is what it's interesting though, is that when you're talking about how you had to come to this realization that you'd become a part-time savage.
Yep.
This isn't recently.
Yeah, that's you're looking at 2000. No, it's not 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2018.
Not that long ago.
No, fuck no.
Yeah. So even though you've been through all those things and you have all this information in your head, it's like there's no rest.
No.
You never get a chance. And if you do take a little time and start enjoying it, all of a sudden that general in the back of your head is like, hey, look what you're doing.
Exactly.
You're being a little bitch. And so in your mind, you had gotten soft.
Oh, 100%. And my softness was still 2 days. So if you look in there,
2 days was you being soft.
my part-time savage was me running like 50 miles a week. Me fucking not, because what I used to do and what I do now is I got to a point, I'd be running. I was like, okay, man, we could do 10 miles today. I get to 10 miles, like, oh no, motherfucker. That fucking demon that I let out every fucking morning that walks the streets at night, he comes say, hey, no, bitch, not today, man. There's somebody out there that you don't know, have never fucking met in your entire life that is doing 12, 13, 14. You're going to do another one. And when you meet him, you ain't going to be fucking ready. So Goggins kept on running.
So you talk about that, and you talk about how Cam came to visit you in Vegas and gave you a spot check.
Oh, yeah. I'm always ready for a motherfucker like Cam. So out of nowhere, dude, this guy calls me, literally. And this is one thing about life. This is why you always must be ready. Always be ready. Never get ready. People go, oh, hey, what are you training for, David? I ain't training for shit. When something pops up, I'll be fucking ready. So when Cam popped the fuck up, and Cam calls, hey, man, I'm going to be in Las Vegas. You want to go for a run? Sure do, brother. Sure do. While the run sucked, I was ready.
Well, you guys were doing like 6-minute miles for like 26 miles.
It was brutal. It was 20 miles, and Jennifer was with us. And so Jennifer can run her fucking ass off. She's fast as shit. So we went out, but she's not a 6-minute mile runner. So we went out for the first 10, and Jennifer was with us. She was with us for the first 7. She turned around. I think she did like 15 miles. So me and Cam went out after we left Jennifer. She went back for another 3 to go out and get 10 and come back 10. But my whole idea was, I know the course, bitch. I'm about to drop your fucking ass, motherfucker. So we go out because going out is a little bit, as old course, I think it was a little bit uphill. No, a little bit downhill. So it's a little bit downhill. So we turn on a 10-mile mark, come back. And I could tell Cam was hurting, boy. But Cam's a prideful motherfucker, dude. Prideful motherfucker. Love that dude. So we get to about mile 16, 17. And I could tell now, he kind of comes off my shoulder slightly. And I'm like, oh, chink in the armor. I feel it. You always kind of looking at, out of your peripheral vision. But I'm like, this is a prideful motherfucker, man. And we keep on going, man, holding 6s. We get to about mile 18, I look, Cam's right back on the shoulder. And I just smiled. I said, you are exactly who the fuck I thought you were, motherfucker. And so we went out, tested each other, man. Good day, went to the gym, worked out hard, went and got some steak.
Same day.
We fucking worked it out, dude. Whenever me and him are together, you can guarantee it's going to be 2 people that love each other but are waiting for the other motherfucker to break. 100%, dude. It's like this thing in the back of your head, okay, maybe this will break them. So we haven't broken each other yet, but I'm sure the day will come.
So you run 20 miles,
Yep.
And then you lift weights.
But see, lifting weights, people don't get it, man. It's not like lifting weights. It's like, we go and do like so many reps. Like people go, oh, you're only doing, was like 90-some pounds on the incline. Motherfucker, do 5 sets of 25 with a superset of push-ups, superset of curls, superset of pull-ups, superset of triceps, superset of, what the fuck else was it? I forget what else. It's a superset, man. So we're going through lifting lightweight, but for massive, massive amounts of reps. And so you're like totally swollen. And like, it's just some of the best workouts in the world between me and him. Some of the best workouts in the world, man.
And then you had steak.
And then we had steak. That's right. And then I treat Cam to a steak.
Right, and that's a mental aid station.
Oh yes, mental aid stations,
Yeah.
baby.
I think one of the most important parts about the way you express yourself in your books is that you do talk about your weaknesses, and you do talk about your past and how you started off on this journey, and you talk about how there are those moments that you doubt,
Oh yeah.
but you still go.
Oh yeah. Sometimes, like I call it. You got called an audible. The line of scrimmage, man. Like some of the great quarterbacks, they'll be at the line of scrimmage and they'll look at the defense. The defense is defense is shifting. Did he call an audible? In my mind, a lot of times, man, I'm like, it doesn't mean I quit. I don't quit. I may not make it the first time, but I'll come back. I got to call an audible. I gotta fucking get my head back in the game. I gotta figure this shit out. It doesn't mean you leave. It means you study it more. And whenever I fail at something, people always say, man, how do you handle failure, man? 'Cause I fail a lot, dude. I fail all the fucking time. They go, how do you handle it? What I'm trying to do, and this isn't being arrogant, man. It's being real. Not many people are trying to do. So there's not many people who can even open their fucking mouth and criticize me when I do fail. Because I'm trying to do shit, man, that many people aren't trying to do. But I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. I don't look at anything as failure. Because when you're going to try to do something, not trying is failure. That's not some after school special shit. But when you're able to go out there is no failure. It's attempts. Because when you're trying to do something that's bigger than you, whatever you are, whoever you are, if you're paralyzed, you're trying to walk one step and you didn't fail, motherfucker. That was your first attempt. If that's your biggest thing, that's how your mindset needs to go into everything. So I don't look at it as failure is a big word like that gets people down and shit. We give so much power to words. I don't. I take the power right away. I didn't fail shit.
Do you ever have conversations with Cam about mindset?
We really don't go there too much at all about mindset. Like whenever we get together, it's really about breaking the motherfuckers down. Like it's like.
But wouldn't you be interested though in how he approached? Because I don't know if everybody shares your approach. I know there's not very many people like you.
Right.
Cam is one of them.
Right.
So like, how many of them are like you, and how many of them have that sort of similar approach, and how many of them are willing to discuss their own demons? Because a lot of people that are like super endurance athletes or very hard people, they don't ever want to even discuss the weakness. They don't want to shine any light on it.
No, people hate that.
Yeah.
People hate it, man. And I love it. And the reason why people hate it, to me, this is just my own theory, is because you haven't beat it. That's why. People go, man, why are you so open and vulnerable? I'll tell you everything I lied about, everything I fucked up with, everything. I'll tell you everything. I'm an open fucking book. I don't give a fuck. The only reason why I don't give a fuck anymore is because I overcame it and I beat it. So now I'm willing to talk about it. Why most people aren't willing to go to that darkness and that vulnerability is because they're still dealing with it. When people who have overcome it, they're open fucking book, bro. Because they're proud. They're fucking proud. That's why I speak, man, why are you always yelling? Guys, fuck you. This is how I talk, bitch. Because I'm proud, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm a proud motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
And it's not proud like, look at me. It's like, motherfucker, I know where I fucking came from, bitch. I shouldn't be here right now talking to you. Shouldn't be talking to you, motherfucker. I shouldn't be here. I'm just a fat, sloppy motherfucker. I'm proud. So I'm able to tell you, I was fucked up. Many people can't.
Because that's a common thing that people say when I interview them after fights. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. This is not supposed to happen to me. There's a common thing when I've had conversations with people, and they've won a big fight, they've had this big event.
Right.
They say I wasn't supposed to be here.
Right.
Statistically, like Chris Gutierrez just said that last UFC fight when I interviewed him. It's like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Right. Probably because they come from a bad place.
Exactly.
And when you're in a bad, especially when you're young, we develop self-esteem, by the age of 7. If you're not good by the age of 7 or 8 years old, you have a good chance of being fucked the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So if your parents or you came up wrong, and then 7 or 8, if you don't have the self-esteem, but you fucking grind, you're like, I want to be better. when you get to that UFC championship, or you get to where I got, or where I am, it's almost like you can't believe the journey. Like I talked about in that fucking VFW, and I'm in the first chapter of that book, man. I'm sitting in that audience with all those fucking people, and I'm about to get the Americanism Award, and I was grinding so hard, I never took time to reflect on my life, and this was like time to reflect, and I was all kind of fucked up. Man, I got on stage, man, just fucking cried for like 59 seconds, and it was such an emotional moment for me that I fucking did what I did, and I overcame it, and it was alone, man. A lot of people have fucking like teammates and fucking like, family push. My mom was struggling, bro. She was struggling. So it was like me and my mom. And so it was a lot of just me. So when you're waking up every morning by yourself and you're fucking getting after it by yourself, and it's the hidden work. People see a 1 minute video of me running and shit, and like these fighters, they see during the fight or after the fight. They don't see these motherfuckers, man, what they deal with every fucking day. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be here. Because every day, even though they're fucking the best in the world, that little motherfucker at 7 or 8 years old is still in there saying, oh, man, we don't have something. Man, we're not good enough. We shouldn't be here. So you're always fighting that motherfucker. Even though you beat it, you never truly beat it. So when they get on stage and they're talking to Joe Rogan, it's not even real. It's not even real. All those mornings that you didn't want to fucking get up, and I look at it as like a fucking, like a rock, and you find this fucking rock, and that rock is you. And every day you fucking fight not wanting to get up, and you do anyway. You chip another piece off that fucking rock, and every day you fucking eat the right foods, and every day you go to train, you train harder and harder and harder and harder, and you get up earlier, and all these things you do to start forming yourself. You're chipping another fucking piece of that rock off. Before you know it, you have this beautiful fucking piece of artwork that you built. But people don't, and then once you get there, you see it, and it becomes real. Like, oh my God, I fucking did this shit. And so like the fucking journey becomes so real then. But so many people aren't willing to fucking chip away at that stone that is them, to start chipping off those fucking rough edges.
That's the fear. The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
Yep.
I could have been great.
I never forget one time I was running by a graveyard when I was fucking just trying to become, I was fat. And I ran by a graveyard and I looked out there and I have all these epiphanies, man. I have all these fucking moments of like, it's crazy, man, of just thought. Cause I'm always by myself and I'm always in deep fucking thought about how to be better. And I look out there, I'm like, man, I wonder how many of you motherfuckers in there fucking just are so upset with how you lived your life and fucking just regret how you lived it. And I'm running a 300-pound man thinking, man, don't fucking die like this, bro. Don't die like this. So people wonder where this shit comes from me. It comes from such deep thought of trying to see what this is all about. What is this life all about? What am I all about? Why am I here? You know, I had to find purpose. And my suffering, it had a purpose. It had a fucking purpose.
Do you talk to other people that are like you and try to understand if they're going through the same thing? Are they trying to gather knowledge as well? Are they just doing it because they're addicted to runner's high? Are they doing it because they enjoy the challenge? Like, how many people do you talk to that are like you?
I've never talked to anyone that, and most people don't even believe what I say half the time, that I do it to fucking gain knowledge and all that shit. I haven't met one that goes out there. People really enjoy a lot of the shit that they do. I don't know many people who can go out and run 240 miles at one time if you don't enjoy it. If you just don't really enjoy it. So, you know, I had many people build confidence in different ways, and they build belief in different ways. Coming from where I came from, I didn't have any belief in myself. So some people can go read a book and get belief. Some people can go take a yoga class, have good parents. I had to put myself, so where I came from was so far down underneath like soil that I had to build belief by truly ingraining it in my brain. So the things I do, I'm always every day building belief. And my belief had to be where it is because I was so far down. So it may take a 200-mile run for me. It may take a 100-mile run. It may take late nights in the gym. But without belief, you have nothing. And I realized that when I was a young kid, I have no belief. I have to build it. And a 5-mile run didn't do it. I had to push myself to such extremes because I came from, people judge me by not knowing where I came from. So unless you're me and you came from where I came from, I guarantee you wouldn't have made it out. Guarantee it. And I knew that. So my belief comes from going, I had to build it. And that's how I build it, man. I build it by the things I do.
It's so painful reading about your childhood and the experiences with your father. And then when you went back and met your father as an adult and got with him and watched him get drunk and then watch him get belligerent and experience it all over again. And then think about what happened to him to make him who he is.
Yeah, that fucked me up, dude. But I had to go, like, I realized I was fucked. I realized I was just a sorry motherfucker. You know, I quit pararescue. I was afraid of the water. Every time shit got hard, like I said, I didn't have talent. You know, I fucking didn't have shit. And whenever shit got hard for me, I thought I was on my way out, and I got sucked back in. I become a loser again real quick. And I see them all the time. There's a lot of fucking losers out here that won't face it. I was like, oh, man, you got to go back and visit this motherfucker. I haven't seen my dad in fucking years, man. Years. But I knew where I came from. I knew where my mindset came from. I knew where my demons were. So my whole idea when I went back to see my dad was I was hoping that I could just fucking call myself a loser. It's because of you, Dad. So I was hoping to go back and get the confirmation that I always wanted. That wasn't my fault. That voice in my head was so loud. It's not your fault, David. It's not your fault you can't read and write. It's not your fault that people call you fucking nigger. It's not your fault. It's not your fault this, not your fault that. It's not your fault that you're fat. It's not your fault that that you quit shit. It's not your fault. So I was like, okay, man, I'm gonna go back, visit this motherfucker so I can just squash it and I can just go on and be a fucking loser because you fucked me up. And when I got there, I drove to Buffalo, saw my dad. Same routine as it was when I was 8 years old, man. Walked in, what's up? Went to Skateland. I sat in that fucking couch that he would cheat on my mom with. And I sat on that couch in the corner, and I was like, God, what the fuck, man? And it was a whole normal day. And the more I was around him, he started getting drunk. And I won't go through the whole thing, but I started seeing, man, I started having a conversation. I always had these conversations with myself. I'm like, man, this motherfucker, he came from hell. His dad would put him in front of a furnace. And like, if he moved, he'd get burnt. So when my dad got beat, his dad would put him in front of a furnace. And if he would have moved, he'd fucking get burnt up. So my dad had to sit there and take it. So he never dealt with his fucking demons. So his demons became mine. His demons became mine. And motherfuckers think you die and the demon goes with you, man. Don't be a fucking fool, bro. You know, like, that's why I'm proud of myself. I took his demons and mine. And people were always looking for some great fucking apology. You know, oh my God, like, you know, my dad needs to say sorry, or people who fucking called you out your name, or nobody gonna come back and say sorry to you, motherfucker. Ain't nobody saying shit to you. You better fucking man the fuck up. So I looked at him. He didn't face his demons, but I'm gonna face mine. So on that drive back home, that's what I started doing.
You know what's one of the most fucked up things that I've learned over time is that almost all like truly exceptional and mentally strong people have been through hell. It's very few that put themselves through hell when life is great. It's just not usually the case.
Right.
And to achieve the standards that you've achieved, to become the person that you are today, and to have the influence that you have, this global influence on people. Do you know how many people have laced up their shoes because they heard your voice? How many people have just moved into action and changed their life because they've heard you talk or seen you talk? There's a thing that happened, and it happened out of hell. And I don't think it ever happens without that. It's like you had to go through that in order to empower all these other people, in order to become who you are, and that as an example, and then your words as an example, and your describing of it, and then your description of your own shortcomings and failures that give people confidence that it's not like you're this superhuman person that is like a character in a book.
Right.
No, you're a real human being who has real insecurities and real failures in your past and real demons. And you figured out a way to harness that energy and just keep going forward.
Yep.
And
I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the night inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here I'm screaming. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. Looking funny on me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the